Hello everyone, it's Path. Today we are going to talk about Mega Evolution's release. It is set to release on the 26th of September, which is in a few days time. And in today's episode, we are just going to take a quick look at the cards inside. Just also going to show you if you're planning to buy them, especially focusing on Singapore, where you can get them from, and where are the places where they are offering pre-order and what's the prices that's going. Let's get into this. The pre-order on Pokemon Center in the US was probably a few months ago, or 1 to 2 months ago, and needless to say, it was sold out very quickly. But interesting thing about this box is that it is an enhanced booster box. So for most people, especially if we are getting boxes from the US like in Singapore, the boxes that come to you should be the enhanced version. I know there are some people who talk about it's going to be a mix, some will be enhanced, some will be not, but I tend to believe that most of it should be enhanced version, like the Journey Together in Singapore. The nice thing about this set is that it is actually comprised of two very nice sets in Japan, and one of it is headlined by Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir, and the other one Mega Lucario, which we will take a look very quickly. Over here, this is a Mega Symphonia, which is the set that is, headlined by Mega Gardevoir. I think the special thing that comes out from this set is definitely the MUR, as they call it, the Mega Ultra Rare. That's what I suppose it meant for. I'm not so sure, but this is one of the type of card that I don't think they have something like this before. I mean, we have gold card in the past, but it's not like just gold, and they use some texturing to create the contrast, which is very nice. This actually reminds me of some of the One Piece card that is very popular, like this Monkey D. Luffy card from OP05. And as you know, this is one of the more expensive card. It used to go for a $3,000 ungraded. Of course, the price has been dropping, but I have not seen this in person. I was just told that from some of the people who collect or play the game. This is a very nice looking card, and I think it's not very surprising that many people actually draw the conclusion, or they say that actually these cards, this one as well as the Lucario version, Mega Lucario version, if you just look at the design of it, actually they look kind of similar. The circle in the center and sort of a sunburst outwards. So yeah, probably they got some inspiration from there, but still, I think it's a very good looking card, especially if you are into Gardevoir or Lucario. I think this is one card that you may not want to miss. And of course, besides the MUR card, the special edition, I'm not sure what they are going to call this in English, but we'll know in a few more days time. And Mega Gardevoir looks very nice as well in the Mega Symphonia set. The Latias is good, the Kangaskhan is good, and generally it's just a very good looking, but this is rather colorful. Some people actually like it to be a little bit more dull, like it to be scary and fierce looking. This is a little bit more colorful and vibrant, so I think some people prefer this. Some people may find this a little bit too kiddish. Honestly, everybody have their own preference. I actually like this Alakazam. This, I think it's in one of our ETB. Later we are going to take a look. Recently I have been quite into the Alakazam cards. I think they are very cool looking. Let's look at Mega Brave. Mega Brave in Japan is one of the more expensive set. I think it's probably because of this card, Lily's Determination. I mean, the other cards, the price-wise, is not too much of a difference. The only difference in the sets is that because in Japan, this is one of the sought-after card, Lily's Determination. In English, I'm not so sure, because usually in English sets, the trainer cards, especially the female trainer cards, are not as popular as in the Japanese counterpart. So we're gonna see how it turns out in a few days time, but definitely the MUR for Mega Lucario, it's definitely going to be something that there are many people who wants to chase. The Lucario card looks nice, fighting Venusaur. Mega Venusaur looks good as well. This is basically our box topper in the enhanced version, and Mega Venusaur is here, Mega Absol, Mega Lucario. Generally a lot of very nice looking card. This one is our ETB promo, one of it. Ivysaur, this basically form a line, the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, as well as the Venusaur. It would be nice to collect all three of them, and honestly they are not so expensive, especially in Japan. So if you want to collect, this is something you can consider instead of collecting the English version. For the ETB, and I'm just showing you here the PC ETB version because I think they have the best pictures. So like I said, the Allocation is here with the version with Mega Gardevoir. I believe if you are buying a case of the ETB, they should come with 5 of this version and also 5 of this version. So 5 Mega Gardevoir and 5 Mega Lucario. The Lucario version will come with Riolu. The Gardevoir version will come with Alakazam. And of course the sleeve and the coins will be different. But other than that, the packs are basically the same packs. And the other thing that is new to the Mega Evolution set is actually the code card. Now it comes with Pikachu, which I am more than happy about. Now that they give me another reason to, keep the code card. I think that's very, very nice. Okay, so let's go into the market in Singapore. Unfortunately, as usual, everything is very, very expensive. But before I go to the actual Singapore market, I just want to show you this is Path from the Future. And I have actually finished recording the video, but I thought, I forgot to say something very, very important, and that is, I really do not think you should buy at the current market price that I'm going to show you later on. Very expensive in Singapore, but there are places that you can try your luck and buy at MSRP in Singapore, which is for the booster box is about $248, but basically $6.90 per pack. That is the MSRP in Singapore. And here I'm just going to quickly show you some of the places where you can try your luck. And Pokemon Center Singapore definitely is one of the most trusted sources, but unfortunately recently has been very, very difficult to get anything from there. I mean, you can try your luck at the physical store. I think you have a better luck there compared to buy them online at Lazada, because as I was told, it is still just as difficult to buy as compared to when they were back in Shopee, probably because of botting or just because there are so many people trying to buy there. So I was thinking, actually, if you don't mind going down to the store, it is probably a little bit better, and you probably have a better luck. Even though you can't get this Mega Evolution set, probably you can get something else as well from there at MSRP. But if you can draw anything from previous experience during release, they probably won't be releasing them at the store at all, because since I think Prismatic Evolution, they have been delaying the release of the sets of the series in Singapore at the physical Pokemon Center store. So please keep an eye out on their Instagram, because normally they will inform you whether they will release on the physical store or when they will release it. The second place where you can look at is Don Donkey. We have a few big ones around Singapore that actually carry some Pokemon TCG product, and sometimes they carry products like what I'm showing here, the tins, which is what I typically see. Sometimes in the past they actually even have the ATBs if you are lucky. Otherwise you may find some sleeves there or some blister packs, which is also nice. So Don Donkey is another place where you can try looking. And then Popular Bookstore is another one that I have mentioned before, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like they actually store very frequently, restock in their store. So if you are lucky enough to come across, you remember to use your membership and you can get $10 discount. So it's technically even cheaper than buying from Pokemon Center Singapore, because you get 10% below MSRP. And the other place is NTUC Fair Price. Some of the branch, the bigger ones, actually carry some TCG product as well. If you're lucky, probably you can find some. Typically it is like the mini tins or the sleeves. You usually will not see like bundles or ETB. I don't think they carry them. 3-pack blister is probably the biggest things that they carry. There are also some places that also carry them, but I believe their price is usually slightly higher than MSRP, like the Challenger Electronic Store, Appliance Store, and Toys R Us. They carry them in the past, but nowadays you rarely find them. You probably will find other TCG, but Pokemon is very, very rare. 7-Eleven, I have no luck looking at them, but actually I honestly don't try too hard on 7-Eleven. I just treasure my time a little bit too much to go around the Singapore to find them. So, but if you can find them, I think they sell at $7.90 if I'm not wrong. The MSRP is $6.90. And Snickerdunk as well. In Singapore, they have a branch, and I have been told in the past, usually they will bring in products, whether it's ETB or even booster box, but usually it is higher than MSRP. it's probably around the $280 range in Singapore. So there you have it. This list of course is non-exhaustive. There are other places that you can find them, but these are the more common places that which you will have a higher chance. There are probably some other bookstores or toy stores that carry them as well. Smaller ones, these are the places where I usually will see some product. Yep, so good luck out there. If you are looking into buying from eBay, there are some options like Australia. This is in Singapore dollar, $360 plus shipping is 35. If you add the tax, it's going to be slightly more than $400, maybe somewhere around $450. Somewhere there. And this one is definitely not real. Please don't fall for these tricks. And US, similar story, $360, $82 shipping. So this is a little bit more expensive. So we add them up, it's going to end up being around $500. This one is slightly cheaper, but no, actually it's pretty much the same. Okay, so let's just say about $450 to $500. And now let's look at Singapore. One of the shop that I used to buy from, as I have told you before, was Wargame. They are situated in Ang Mo Kio. If you're interested, you can buy from them. But like I said, recently their price has been rather expensive. One thing that's interesting is that the pre-order for boxes actually came back, and they actually stopped taking pre-order for a while for Pokemon because they couldn't fulfill their allocation. And the interesting thing is here, they actually did not say that this is subjected to allocation. That means that this should be based on their actual stock, because the allocation in shop for the shops in Singapore has been confirmed. I mean, if they're getting stocks from Maxoff, they already know how much they're allocated for. So if you're asking them and they say, oh, they do not know how much they're getting, either they are lying or they are not actually getting the stock directly from Maxoff, which is the Singapore distributor. So if they did not word it in such a way that is subjected to allocation, that means it's most likely confirmed stock. So if you want to order from them, so it's a case of 6 boxes, $2,400. That translates to about 400 Singapore dollar per box. MSRP in Singapore is 248 Singapore dollar. They have not raised the MSRP yet, at least not in US. So I suspect in Singapore it's going to be the same, $248, and this is going for $400. So it's about, I think about 60% above MSRP. Not very good, but it is what it is. Because I'm going to show you what is going on the other open sales platform. This is in Shopee, and you can find a few more over here. Usually I just find those that is, shipping from Singapore. And because there are some other very scummy and scammy seller from Indonesia and whatnot, at which I don't even bother looking at. But generally, this is the price that's going on. So if you're planning to buy from Shopee, please remember to use the voucher, because most of these offer cashback voucher. And in fact, they actually price in the voucher. Actually, this is quite cheap. Is this really true? Let's take a look. Oh, what is this? Grand Battle? Okay. Yeah, and the other thing that I hate them for doing is that they will, put a few items together and they will show, because on the main page it will show the price of the, the cheapest option, but on the picture it will show another thing. So if they put it like that, usually this just means that the mini tin is the cheaper ones, which is like double MSRP, and booster bundle is going to be the more expensive. And let's go on to, this is J Card Lover, same seller, booster box, enhanced with box topper, $500. So if you use your voucher, it should go down to about $450, including shipping in Singapore. You don't have to worry about the tax. ETB, $180, same seller, J Cards Lover, $180. If you use the cashback voucher, it's gonna drop to about $160. And this one is another one, Astro Rain. I think this is a rather new one that I'm not familiar with. It's 7 years ago, but I have not buy from them before, so I can't vouch for them. $529. Here's another one, Stonks Collectible, $600. It's getting higher and higher. So yeah, and I wanted to also show you that most of this, they did not say, subject to allocation or anything like that. In fact, one of it says is confirmed. You see, confirmed at 100% allocation. So that means if you order, they're going to ship it to you. I hope it's true. But still, the price is very high right now in Singapore. I hope it will get better, but honestly, there's no way I can tell. This is another shop that I have not bought from them before. I do not know who they are, but I was just searching for pre-order to find out, what's the going rate in Singapore right now. And they only have the ETB. This is DX collection, and they do not show the price. But let's say if I click pre-order, what's gonna happen? Yeah, it doesn't show at all. I can't even edit to cart. When I went into their Telegram, because they actually have their Telegram detail here, and I found that they are actually selling for $200. So that's the price from DX collection. So I'm not trying to show you who is cheaper or who is more expensive, but I'm just telling you, that's the situation in Singapore right now. It is generally very, very expensive. As for myself, I actually did try to pre-order. This is from, sorry, I forgot to show you. It is Diamond G. Diamond G is one of the more relatively trustworthy shop TCG in Singapore, at least from what I have heard. I have not actually ordered from them before, but I've heard quite a few good things about them. At least they don't just run away with your, your pre-order deposit and things like that. And they did try to allocate whatever they got. They try to, give it to whoever that allocated. But I have a piece of bad news over here, because when I tried to order this was very early. I did this in June, so that's like 3 months ago. I paid like 10% deposit, which is not much, and it's $200. And even if they just allocate 2 boxes to me, I'm more than happy, right? If they give me the full 12 boxes, I'm super happy. And the reason why I did pre-order with them is because the pre-order price is very, very reasonable given the current market, $185 per box. What did I say? There was a bad news. The bad news was that later on, I cannot remember when exactly, but maybe a few weeks later, or maybe right before they take away the pre-order, they actually raised the price to $300 per box. So why is this a bad news? Because if we have learned from stories from the US or some other shops out there, when they take pre-order at a different price, what do you think they're gonna do? There's a possibility that they will just fulfill, the people who actually pre-ordered later, like those who bought in at $300, and then those who pre-ordered at the earlier time, we probably won't get anything at all. I mean, if they really want to be scummy, they want to be a very bad business, that's probably what they're gonna do. They will try to, fulfill the people who actually bought in at a higher price, and the others, like us that actually pre-ordered early, hopefully, maybe they'll give us a box, maybe we'll get nothing. Who knows? But if they really want to be very bad with this is what they can do. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. And they also warn us about no refund, cancelling of order once placed. Balance will be collected about 2 weeks before release date. So far, I've not heard anything yet. Complete the rest of the remaining payment within a week. Yeah, I have not gotten anything yet. Otherwise, they reserve the right to cancel allocation. Deposit will be forfeited, and collect order within 2 weeks. Pre-order subject to store allocation. They try to fulfill, but there's no guarantee. And what I've heard from the current, or the shop that I'm very close with, is that unfortunately, at the moment, the allocation is still definitely not full allocation. It is better than the Destined Rival allocation. From what I understand, it's probably about 30 to 50% more. Don't think that it is a big number, because during Destined Rival time, each shop is probably only getting about a few cases. The bigger ones probably get like 5 or maybe even 10 cases maximum. The smaller one probably only get like a case. And so 50% more is probably like 1 or 2 more cases, or a few boxes more for the smaller shops. So don't expect too much. If you're pre-ordering cases and cases, you probably won't be getting much. Not in Singapore anyway. I've heard that in US they are shipping out in waves, and the ETB there's some delay from some distributor. But from what I've heard in Singapore, the good news is that it seems like the ETB is not delayed. That is at least one piece of good news. So we are getting quite a bit of ETB in Singapore. I've not heard about the waves, second wave for MEO1 coming in, I heard in the US they are probably coming in about another 3 weeks time. If that's true in Singapore as well, I think that's very, very good news. At least we have more stock coming in. But right now, I think that's the situation right here. And this is going to be released on the Friday. Usually in Singapore, we have been getting stocks, or the shops has been getting stocks, a week before, or in the past even 2 weeks before, because they are trying to help the LGSs, the shops, from fighting against people who are selling on TikTok, because on TikTok they're already selling wherever you are, and in the US they already have their pre-sale stocks. And in fact, some of them have already opened it. Just go to the YouTube and search for Mega Evolution. You will see that there are already people opening up the packs. And this is the situation the shops in Singapore is facing again, because right now, they are going back to square one, where other parts of the world, they have already gotten it and Singapore don't get it early. Unfortunately, that's the situation, and that's what we have to deal with. So I hope you have good luck hunting for the box this Friday. I'm not sure how much I'm getting. I'm not sure how much I'm willing to pay as well. I mean, if you're willing to pay, of course, the stocks is out there, but I'm not going to tell you to pay like $400, $500. I think it's ridiculous. But if you can find anything at MSRP, close to anything around $250 or below that, I think it's a good buy as usual. If I can get some, the ETB, it's something that I look forward to opening. I would love to have the Allocation as well as the Riolu. Where is it? This one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to have the card. The nice thing about opening ETB is that even though if you don't get anything else, at least you get the 2 IR, which is nice. And the sleeve looks nice as well. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to share today. Let me know if you have any comments. Let me know if you have any good lobang, any good avenue to get some of this thing in Singapore. Yeah, share some loves. Right, see you in the next one.